Yes, people, what's going on? Back again with another Red Talk. Faz, what you telling me, bro?
I'm good, man. How are you? How's
I'm
things?
I'm good, bro. I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
I'm back off holiday now, back to the grind mode. Hearing a lot of Man United news, some surprising news as well. To be fair, some surprising news, some 4D chess being played.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, back watching the Euros, but yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to start looking forward to the preseason, man, and seeing where Ineos take this club.
No, 100%. I don't think much. To be fair, we've only got a week now until July, and then the finances roll over into next season.
Yeah.
So I think that's when we'll start seeing movement. From the 1st of July, man. A lot of teams haven't really been doing too much business yet because of the financial constraints, but that seems to be holding a lot of teams back, to be fair.
Mhm. Yep, 100%. I think I don't know if Man United are going to be very active in the market because we've still not been able to do, sell some of the players that we urgently need to sell, like Jadon Sancho, Mason, still not, 100% sold yet. So it's going to be definitely a dry summer for us. I don't think it's going to be as transactional as people think. I think sales is more important than anything. Even Bisaka going to Turkey and that is not sorted yet. So until all of this stuff is sorted, I can then say, right, okay, we've got some money now to look forward to spending. The other player is that Zerky player that everybody's talking about, coming to Manchester United, and it's almost like it's in advanced stages. So yeah, transfer wise, I'm not really that excited at the moment. It's just this manager thing, the coaching staff thing that's got me a bit excited. I can't lie.
Yeah, the Xerxes stuff is I don't know. What they're saying is they're saying that his release clause isn't able to be activated until the 1st of July or something like that. So I don't think that that's going to happen until um next month anyway. Do you know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So it's one of them ones where I don't think that that's something that's going to happen anytime soon. If that happens, obviously the big news is Ruud van Nistelrooy coming back to Manchester
yep.
United, and I don't know. That's looking a bit mad, fam. Because before, I remember like a little while back there was murmurs, like I think it was around March time, of Man United being interested in potentially bringing in someone like Gary O'Neill or something like that
Mm.
to be an assistant. You know what I mean? I think it was around March time.
Yeah.
And I think the contingency for these owners were always to if they couldn't get rid of the manager altogether, then to bring in their own guy to have influence on the touchline, in it. And the Ruud van Nistelrooy thing, I can't lie, it kind of ticks all the boxes. It kind of ticks all the boxes for that because he has coached as a first team coach, as a first team manager. I think he won I think he won like the Dutch FA
The
Cup or
trophies,
something
man.
like that. Yeah. With PSV. So he's got experience of being a first team manager, and he's a United legend as well. So he ticks all the
Yeah,
boxes.
100%. I think what's more surprising to me as well is why would a manager who's just managed the first team, won two significant trophies with them,
Mm.
now go to a coaching staff kind of role? Do you know what I mean? Wouldn't it make sense for him to be taking a first team role somewhere and carry on with his career? For him to be going into a coaching staff kind of role, is big. Anybody in the right mind, right, in the right mind frame, would be like, you go on to manage somewhere else, maybe somewhere a little bit bigger than PSV or somewhere similar. But the fact that he's willing to take on a coaching staff role could only mean that possibly they're looking at him as the replacement anyways after Eric. That's just what I can
Mm.
see. Or they've got him in the background as a coaching staff that if Eric messes up, they've got Rude to fall back on, because don't forget they weren't unhappy with Van der Gaag as well. There was reports that they wanted to get rid of Van der Gaag, his
Mm.
assistant, but he stood by him. They obviously want to get rid of Benny McCarthy again, someone that he's fighting for. So it makes a lot of sense that if they can't change the manager, they can change some of the coaching staff, right? So
Mm.
let's bring in some of their own choice
But
coaching
the
staff.
Van der Gog stuff though, like if Van Nistelrooy comes in, surely he's gone though. Do you know what I
Has
mean?
to be.
Like,
I mean, what position is he going to play?
but this is what I'm trying to say.
In the
So
club?
if they're starting by sacking the manager's number two, that's a power play, innit? That's them
Yeah.
basically saying, listen, all right, cool, you're still here, but we're in charge, innit? So
Mm,
it's one of them ones. And to be fair, that kind of makes sense. And also it brings greater stability to the club. Because if you think
mm,
that they're gonna keep they're gonna be in control of who the number two is, they're gonna be in control of the football director and all these other things, and the head coach is almost has to just join in and be a part of the team, and they're an isolated figure, as
mm,
opposed to a lot of coaches moving and bringing their staff with them. Do you know what I'm
mm,
saying? So maybe that's the new setup. Maybe the new setup is they're gonna have ever-present people at the club, and then the coach is gonna come in and out, and then the coach is a lot more disposable that way because you
mm.
keep a certain level of consistency if the number two stays the same.
I hear that. I definitely hear that. I think the choice of personnel as well is very interesting for me. You know, people were saying there's no one in the market to get, but
Mm,
you know, Rude is a promising manager. You know, he started his career as a manager really, really well. It's
mm.
you can't take anything away from him as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting how Ineos have pulled it out the bag, and he was obviously destined to, or somewhat, you know, linked with Burnley to go to Burnley, and a good project as well, if you ask me, trying to get Burnley back up and that. But for
Mm.
him to go into PSV, what was he doing? Was he not doing under 19s at first, and then he ended up doing the first team? Or he did the under 19s, under 21s, and then the first team. So he's also got a lot of experience in dealing with the youth players as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Academy system, he's got that as well. So it's a very, very good appointment if they can pull it out the bag. Very, very good appointment. I think that's solid. I'm still gonna be wondering, you know, how long they're gonna give Eric. They've obviously clearly put Eric kind of, the word that I'm looking for. They've almost cornered him. You know, they've probably put shit ton of clause in his contract that will give you 2 years, but you can't do this. You must achieve this. You have to listen to this. You don't have these things that you can control anymore. We're gonna bring in these people. You have to get with the program, and if you don't deliver, then it's gone.
Yeah, 100%. It's interesting, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's a very weird one because the one thing I say about Ruud van Nistelrooy, like, bro, like he don't seem like the kind of guy that's not gonna challenge the manager, which I think is good anyway, because the manager always needs a number two that's gonna bring new ideas and challenge them in it. That's one thing
Mm.
Saleh Ferguson did well. He always had number twos that kind of were
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
hands-on. They did challenge him. They did bring new opinions. Like Kerosh was like that. Do you know what I'm saying? And even David Beckham never got on with Carlos Kerosh. And the thing is,
yeah, yeah,
Kerosh was
yeah,
seen as like being quite strict. You know them ones. There weren't no good
yeah,
cop,
yeah,
bad cop. It's like there was just two bad cops in it. And it's one of them ones where Ruud van Nistelrooy, blood. Listen, this guy fell out with Saleh Ferguson. So you know, Ruud van Nistelrooy is not the kind of guy that's gonna sit there, yeah. And if he don't agree with something, he's not just gonna sit there and just let it
mm,
happen, innit? He seems like the kind of guy that he'll say something. So either him and Ten Hag are gonna get on really well, or they're not gonna get on at all. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
And that's the only thing. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure, yeah, like how this ends, other than him probably being the interim manager at some point when they move Ten Hag on. It looks like they're planning for life without him. I don't believe for 1 second that they're bringing him in, yeah, to do the Batman and Robin thing with the current
yeah,
manager.
yeah,
That
yeah.
doesn't, to me, that doesn't really make sense, especially a guy that has gone somewhere, lifted silverware, and sees himself as a head coach.
I hear that. I definitely hear that. And don't forget, you know, it's not like Rude isn't used to managing some big names and some decent players as well in his time in PSV.
Don't know what happened there, guys. Faz's thing just jumped out. He'll be back in, I'm sure. Um, Also, Rude coached Jared Brantthwaite as well when he was on loan at PSV as well. Because I saw some tactical breakdowns with Van Nistelrooy talking about him and talking about how his pace enabled them to press higher up the pitch and stuff like that. So it's one of them ones where even as a coach, yeah, Rude is competent. he's competent, bruv. So I'm looking forward to seeing I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, bruv. I'll be real. Yeah, my bro.
Sorry, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I want to, bro.
Yeah, Rude had Jared Brantwaite at PSV.
Yeah. He had Hakpo at PSV as well. You know, Xavi Simons, one of the best players, you know, young players in the world right now. He had him as well, Sangare as well. Some of his players have gone on, you know, to play in the Premier League and
Mm,
doing well. They're doing well, or they're players that people are, you know, looking at all the time. Teams and clubs are looking at. So he's used to dealing with talent. He's used to dealing with high profile players and making players from smaller players into big name players. So you know the three main players, Sangare, Xavi, and Hakpo, all moved for big money to Premier League
mm,
teams. So even Madueke not on his roster as well, if I'm not mistaken, and then he went
got
to
it, bro.
Chelsea, no? So he's he's
Mm.
he's got some pedigree there to be able to make something out of players that people didn't think much of. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I hope they get it across the line ASAP and we can see a preseason with him. You know what I'm saying?
I
Because you
think
don't have
that's an
to
easy
get them
deal. I
every
think
day.
that's an easy deal to do, bro. I'll be honest, because it's Man United, isn't it? And it's Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Mm,
So it's one of them ones where they're gonna get. He's gonna want to take the job. He's gonna want to take the job. There's no two ways about it. And they're saying that things are um they're progressing quite quickly. And why wouldn't they? Because if he was thinking about going to Burnley anyway, then the prospect of him moving back to England was already on the cards. So
yeah.
obviously you're gonna go to Manchester United. If you
It's
have to choose between United and Burnley, and they'll be telling him that they'll be giving him the idea that the manager's not there for the long haul, and it's almost like a dress rehearsal for him.
it also, you know what's interesting as well, right? He won the Dutch Championship as a player with PSV. And then went back to PSV whilst Eric Ten Hag was, you know, had control of that league at the time. And people were like, yo, PSV versus Ajax. It's always PSV versus Ajax. So as a player, he won championship with PSV. He then went back as a manager and helped them win, you know, 2 trophies. And as a player, he's definitely a Man United legend. He's won the Premier League with us. He's won the FA Cup with us. And now he's coming back as you know,
A
coach
coach.
staff to maybe possibly help us go to the next stage and maybe take over from Eric Ten Hag. He's definitely a younger manager. He's less than, what is he, 45, if I'm not mistaken, four like mid
Yeah,
40s
he has to be in his 40s, man, because he'll be
manager as well.
yeah, because he'll be older than Wayne, but younger than Keno and them, I think.
Yeah,
So
he's definitely a good appointment. I'm still, you know, thinking in terms of
yeah, he's 47.
transfers. I don't want to hear people say managers are not getting players that they want and they can't work with. Do you know what I'm saying? These are specialist coaches that have to work with players that the club bring in, that the club identify, you know, the people that are put in place to identify the type of football that we're going to play. And it's the manager's job to make it work. And I'm not going to sit here and say Ruud van Nistelrooy is the best manager that we could go and get and whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? It's also a bit of nostalgia and emotions involved because it's like Ruud van Nistelrooy coming back to Old Trafford. Do you know what I'm saying? All of that malarkey. I don't want to get too much into that. I don't want to get too
Yeah, but
emotional.
there's a part of that I don't like, bro, because a part of it is like man said, a lot of these morons in the fan base, yeah, they're happy to see Rude come back because it's Rude.
Yeah, that's
You know,
it.
like that. And you know what I mean? Except obviously he's way more qualified than Ollie was, but the point is because he's an ex-player, these men are getting excited. Do you know what I'm saying? But these are the
Yeah,
same
that's it.
guys that were going on like we didn't need change and they were happy with Ten Hag and Van der Gaag, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them things where it's like they're only celebrating this because it's Rude. If it was someone else, they wouldn't be welcoming it with the same kind of energy, even if it was someone as qualified or more qualified than Rude.
Mm. But Rance, do you not have any concern that we're going down the Dutch route again?
No,
Because
because he's a club
history of Dutch
legend. He's
football
a
in the
club.
Premier League.
He's a club legend, though. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really care about
Yeah, but all that
Rude's
aside,
nationality
let's
because
take all that out.
we went down what the Norwegian route before, blood, and it didn't make sense, bro. Like I don't think the nationality of the coach was the issue in terms of if we're bringing in the next player. I think if we're bringing in the next player, then we're bringing in the next player. Like that's just what it is. If he wasn't an ex-Man United player, he's not on the short list for this job. I don't think.
Mm, interesting.
Do you know what I
Interesting.
mean? So I think it's more like, yo, we're bringing in someone that's got a connection with the club, understands the club, yeah, and he's got experience coaching youth players, which he does. He just so happens to tick the boxes.
Do you think he's the best ex-player that we could have brought in as a coaching staff?
At the
Do you
moment,
know what I'm saying? Do you
who
think
else
he's the
is
best
there though?
ex-player?
Who else is there though? Like, we haven't really got any ex-players that are coaching at a high level, bro, because none of Fergie's fledglings are doing anything. Do you know what I mean? They're all in the Sky Studio. So like who else could be? And Robin Van Persie's gone back to, I think he's at Heronvale or something like that, and he's just starting up now. So
Mm.
it could have only really been him. It could have only really been him. Yeah, maybe Laurent Blanc. That's it. Like that have coached at a decent level. It's only really him when you look at it.
Carrick?
Now, but Carrick's just starting out. Do you know what I mean? Carrick's probably 2 years behind Rude, 2 or 3 years behind Rude.
But in terms of ex-player, I mean, he was already at the club. Don't forget, you know what I'm saying? He was.
But
He
that's
was.
what I mean. But he's below and behind Ruud van Nistelrooy in terms of experience
Mm.
and in terms of what man's won as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Ruud's
get
got
it.
the aura for sure. Do you know what I mean? Because of who he was as a player. He's also
Mm.
got trophies on his CV
Mm.
and he's a club legend, bro. So he ticks loads of boxes. And if
How
he
much? How much? How much weight do you put on him winning the Dutch trophy, the trophies with his team in PSV? I'm trying to give like a counter argument here to try and really understand if if he's the perfect fit. How
no,
much
you know
weight
what
are
it
you
is,
going to put on
yeah?
the Dutch trophies?
It's not it's not so much, yeah, just the Dutch trophies, because people forget, yeah, that I think he was part of the coaching staff for the Netherlands as well. I think he was assistant manager. Was he assistant manager for Van Gaal? Was he there with Van Gaal, or what manager had him in there? Because he was in the dugout. He was in the dugout for the Dutch national team, but I can't remember what manager he was with. Um, he's been assistant. Um, I've seen him in at least two tournaments. So he was with Van Gaal. Cool. So he was Van Gaal's assistant for the Dutch team. So he's got experience there, which makes him way more experienced than any of the other managers we could have got that have played for us. And obviously at PSV, man's won a couple trophies. And when you look at the list of players that he's coached, the young players as well,
Hmm.
he just, bro, I'll be real, he ticks enough boxes, bro.
Do you think it's a way of easing him into the club as a coaching staff first, and then giving him the control of the club as a
I
manager
I
and
wouldn't say
filtering
they
it
give.
out?
I wouldn't say they guarantee him control of the club, but they say, you know what, it's an audition for you. Do you know what I mean? I
Mm,
remember Edgar Davids was also on the coaching stuff. So it's that was So here is one of them ones where I think that they bring him in and they say, you know what, similar to Carrick and McKenna when they were there under Ollie. Do you know what I'm saying? They were there under Ollie, and I think they were there under Jose first. It was like they done all right. Jose left, Ollie came in, and then man stayed on. So it's one of them things where I think that he'll come in, he'll do his thing, and maybe he might get an interim job. If he does well, they might say, all right, you can keep it. If they don't think that he's up to it, then they can bring someone else in, and then he stays at number two. Like it's not the craziest thing. Like I think wasn't even Zidane was at Real Madrid under Ancelotti, wasn't he?
mm,
I'm sure he done assistant for him.
yeah,
So
he's got
so
a
it's so it's not the craziest thing. Like it's not the craziest thing. Like there's actually precedent for stuff like this being done elsewhere. Do you get it?
yeah, I get it. He's got a very, very good win percentage as well. I think his win percentage is about 66%, which is just under Thomas Tuchel, under Inzaghi, but a serious win percentage, to say the least. 66% is very, very, very good, very good. Anything
There you
above 60%.
go. Zidane was assistant to Mourinho and Ancelotti. You see what I mean? So that means he was a club appointment. And that's kind of how we need to be moving. You get me? Like you have your club appointments that are there regardless of who the manager is, and then that brings continuity with the players. So clearly that's the model that we're moving towards. And if that's the case, yeah, even though it's good for the club, it's going to mean there's a lot of managers we can't get, because a lot of managers want to bring their own staff. A lot of them do, especially the older managers. Like the likes of the De Zerbis and the Tuchels and that, they're gonna want to bring their own staff. Like these
Yeah,
men
yeah,
are,
yeah,
they're gonna want to bring their own people. They're not gonna want to go and take a job and not bring their own people. So
yeah, yeah.
if
Yeah.
this is the route that we're going to, the likelihood is, yeah, like the next long-term manager could be Rude, because there's not many coaches that are gonna say, "Yo, we're gonna come true and I'll come true on my own." Like a lot of people don't want to work like that. I don't have a problem with it, because if it means that we've got stability at our club, then you don't really come here and make demands. You don't go to Real Madrid and make demands, bro. They tell you, "Yo, do you want to be the manager? Yes or no? Cool. This is the job description. Do you want it? Yes or no?"
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
have a
yeah.
problem with that.
Yeah. I hear that.
You
No, I hear that.
know
I
what I
hear
mean?
that.
I don't have a problem with that.
One thing I will say though is people, fans, anyways. Let me tell you something. Fans who think that, obviously it's a mixed community here. Some people will like certain players, some people won't. But let me tell you something.
Mm.
Rude is not going to come and turn what's his name, Rasmus Højlund, into
Rasmus,
a world class striker. Do you know what I'm saying?
they think that, oh yeah, he can give
That's not how
Rasmus
football works.
1v1 sessions. Listen, Rasmus is a
Yeah, that's
lost
not how
cause.
football
People
works.
need to let that go, man.
I don't know why people think just because we're getting a world class striker as a coaching staff means Rasmus Højlund and Marcus Rashford are going to become world class players. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not how football works. So I think I'm sorry to say, but it's very naive to think that way. Anyways, let him come in. He's got to work with the whole team, not just strikers. He's not a striker coach. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Bro, listen,
even
Thierry Henry was working with Lukaku and he still couldn't score. So I don't know why people think that Ruud van Nistelrooy is gonna come true and turn Rasmus Højlund into Erling Haaland. Yeah, it's not gonna happen, in it. Like, I'll be real, and like the thing is with Rasmus, yeah, it's not for the lack of effort. He's just not good. Do you understand what I'm saying? If Rasmus looked like the kind of player that doesn't really, he don't train hard or he's not working hard, bro, he looks like he really wants to do well, but he's just not that good. Like this is just all it is, isn't it? Unfortunately, like I don't think that he's not good for lack of trying. Do you get what I'm saying? There's certain players where I look at them and I think, you know what? Maybe you could do more. Maybe you should do more. I don't look at Rasmus and think, yo, he's not working hard on the training ground. He just ain't got it. He just ain't got
I
it.
hear that. I hear that. I think for me, I definitely see some good qualities in him. For me, I see some good qualities in him. Is he gonna be the striker for
Have you
Manchester
been
United?
watching the Denmark games in the Euros?
No, I haven't actually. I only started watching the Euros a couple of days ago, so no, I've not watched the
Mm.
Denmark games. Why? Has he been stinking it up?
It's been awful, mate. It's been
Safe.
awful. Like, brother, I don't
Safe.
think he's got a shot on target in the tournament yet.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think he does. You know what I mean?
The only
So
benefit of doubt I can give him is his age, isn't it? Is simply
yeah,
his age. He's a very, very young striker, but you should still be able to have certain qualities. The thing is, even if I think he has some decent qualities, I think his finishing, he has good finishing. I saw some of the goals that he's done is really good, but his positioning is very bad. His anticipation of where the ball is going to end up is very bad. But is that
yes, but
because
these are things that you need.
is that because he's just not played enough first team football in his career? If you're really deep here, I want to be as how can I put it? I
I
want to
don't
be
think
as
so, because you put those things
I
down
don't
to
just want
football
to say on the
IQ.
play. You know what I'm saying? I don't just want to go and say he's bad. He's bad. I want to look at all factors. He's
Yeah,
actually
but
not played
you
a
put
lot of
those
first
down to
team
football.
minutes in his
You
life.
put those, yeah, but then you put that down to football IQ. What people don't understand is that a
Yeah,
striker's movement off the ball and knowing where to be and anticipating certain things, that comes down to football IQ. That's what that comes down to. And the thing is, yeah, a player's football IQ, yeah, will tell you and show you, yeah, just how far that they can go in it. Because if they have a low football IQ, and they're relying purely on physicality, physicality is not something that's reliable.
Yeah, yeah,
Physicality
yeah.
is one of the most unreliable things in football because we've seen it so many times. A player gets one injury and their whole career looks completely
It's
different.
finished. Yeah.
Completely different. So physicality, yeah, is not something that you can rely on. It's not. You need your football IQ. And the thing is, yeah, like if he wasn't playing well, but he was still scoring goals, I'll be like, you know what, that's promising. Because when a man's still scoring goals and they're not playing well, it's like, all right, cool, something could click in it. But the
Mm.
thing is, like, he's not scoring goals, yeah, and he's not playing well. This is the issue for me. Because even at one point, yeah, Rashford wasn't playing well, but he was scoring goals. If he's scoring goals and he's not playing well, I can work with that. Do you know what I'm saying? I can work with someone that's not playing well and scoring goals. Because it's like,
Yeah.
yo, even if I can add 20% to your performance, yeah, then it's almost like I've got a new player. When
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
watching this guy, he does not affect football matches. He doesn't affect them.
Mm.
Like it's crazy.
Um,
Like my man's pointing out, he went 17 goals in the league with games in the league without scoring, and people overlooked that. 17 games is nearly half the season. That's crazy, bro.
as
But
a
man will
striker,
say,
that's
yeah, but man will
crazy.
say,
Yeah.
oh, but he scored in the Champions League, fast. That's what they'll say. Oh, but he scored in the Champions League. Bro, that's not good enough, bro. Like,
Is too much of a potential strike, as they say, a potential striker, the ceiling of the player. Man United are not supposed to be making signings like that when it comes to the striker position. We don't.
for
We haven't done that.
70 odd million, and everyone can turn around and say that it's not his fault. It isn't his fault. I'm not blaming him for how much he cost. I'm blaming the club for spending that money, and I'm saying that he's not worth that money. I'm not saying it's his fault that that's how much he cost. I'm saying that he's not worth half that. Do you
Have
get
you
it?
noticed?
So
Like, look at
yeah,
how Chris Wood played this season.
yeah,
And what name is Chris Wood? But I was watching him play football. I was like, yo, this guy can act. This guy is a striker, man. You can
mm.
tell some of the attributes, the way he moves, the way he connects with his teammates. Bro, he's just Nottingham Forest. But he looks dangerous. He can affect the game. He brings other
Yeah, but
players into the game.
Faz, the problem with a lot of football fans is, yeah, football fans only care about the name and they care about the packaging. They don't care about what's actually in the box. They don't care about the content because there's a
Mm,
lot of strikers here that are technically good enough to play for Man United and they're technically better than Rasmus Højlund, but we don't have the excuse of, oh, but they're young and they've got a high ceiling and they've got all these other things. When you look, there's loads of players. Like I remember when we got linked with Arnautovic and these guys were turning their nose up at Arnautovic. Arnautovic, if we signed Arnautovic, he would have been one of the best strikers that had played at the club in the last 10 years in terms of what he could have given us, in terms of how he holds the ball up, how he brings people into play, in terms of his temperament, his strength, his football IQ. People didn't want him. They would rather, yeah, be patient with a 72 million pound 21-year-old that's done nothing in the game than go and get someone in their late 20s or early 30s, yeah, that knows how to play the game at a very high level because it doesn't look good on paper. These
yeah,
guys, that's what they, but that's what they want, bro. Like when we were linked with Rabiot, I didn't want Rabiot, but I was like, listen, I would take him if he's free because he's a higher level, yeah, than the other guys we're being linked with, bro. Do you know what I mean? Instead, we went and got Mason Mount instead. You can't tell me Mason Mount's better than Rabiot. He's not, bruv. As much as Rabiot don't look sexy on paper, like it's a better signing than Mason Mount. And this is the
I
problem. You
agree
could
as well.
argue it's yeah, you could argue it's a better signing than Amrabat as well. So it's one of them things where these guys care more so about what it looks like instead of what it is. This is why these men were talking shit about Weghorst, yeah, but Weghorst yeah, was way more effective for us than Rasmus is.
Mm,
Way more.
I hear it. Weghorst, he definitely changed my mind on how I looked at strikers when it came to Weghorst. But to go from a Martial level of player to Rasmus for that
Mm.
money is shocking decision. I can't lie. It was a blind, from Martial, and I'm a big Martial critic. I'm saying for his injuries, but I'm not going to deny the caliber of player Martial is and what he can do on and off the ball. To go from a player like Anthony Martial to Rasmus Højlund, yeah, for double the amount is criminal. It actually is criminal, man. It's
Yeah,
just
but
some
bro,
sort
but
of fraud.
we've done that all over the pitch though. Like we got rid of Fred, yeah, and Sabitzer and brought in Amrabat and Mason Mount. Downgrade. We spent money to downgrade. Do you get what I'm saying? And this is what Man United have been doing. Our recruitment has been so bad. It's been so
And
bad.
Sabitzer went on to play the Champions League final.
There you
He's
go.
went on to play the Champions League, boss in the midfield in Champions League final. You know, doing his thing in the
Well, there
Champions
you
League
go.
final.
Him and Sancho played in the Champions League final. Do you know what I mean? Sabitzer got dropped out for Mason Mount. And also when Sabitzer was at Manchester United, this current manager saw him as a Casemiro replacement, as a number 6. But at Dortmund, he's played on the left, he's played in the 10. For his country, the guy who is the number 9. And the manager had him as a 6, bro. So it shows you, yeah. It shows you that even with all the tools, Ten Hag will still use them incorrectly.
Yeah, I get it.
Incompetent.
Get it.
That's why I can't trust him. Even if he gets the right players, I can't trust him to pick the right team.
It's his team selection and setup that was the worst, isn't it? Throughout the season. It's you can't.
But how can people defend that, Faz? How can you defend team selection, bro? Fair enough. People talk about injuries. How can you defend team selections?
Vaccination, innit? The wrong vaccination, bro. There's no other justification to it. Absolutely no other justification to it. And the fact that you pointed before that Van Nistelrooy is going to clash with the manager, how crazy is or question the manager? How crazy people are not touching on that? Yet they're like, rude, come on, yay. You know, this culture that Man United have created. They've created this culture, yeah. Nurdin calls it toxic positivity, where if you're positive, you're right. Basically, it don't matter what you say. If you're positive, you're correct by default. And if you're negative or you question anything that the club does, you're a bad fan. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what you're talking about. Bro, Rudy's going to come in, yeah. He's going to have arguments with Ten Hag. I promise you're going to start hearing reports about them two disagreeing and shit.
Yeah, because
my man's already getting orders from who was it who told him to play Bruno in the false 9 and that?
Yeah, they're saying that No, they're saying that Wilcox told him to change the style of the play, yeah.
Right.
And it does kind of make sense because towards the end of the season, yeah, our football just completely changed. And also it shows that they're not happy with Rasmus. They're not. And we've been linked very heavily with Xerxes, yeah. And we've been linked with Tony, yeah. Wilcox does not like, yeah, Rasmus up front. And not only does he not like Rasmus up front, yeah, but also Rashford and Bruno don't like Rasmus up front. Remember there was murmurs before of these not wanting to pass him the ball and stuff like that, yeah?
Yeah.
It's very, very clear, yeah, that Bruno and Rashford prefer playing a striker that drops deep and holds the ball so they can run past them because it suits their game. It suits their game much better to have a striker that holds the ball. Rasmus to me he's a channel runner, innit? He's not a target man. So it's one of them things where we need to address, yeah, replacing Anthony Martial. And even in the first season, the manager said himself that we play better with Martial up front. But then he brought in a striker that's got a complete different profile to Martial. It's a mess, bro.
Let's see what they do with this Xerxes player, man. I'm gonna be honest. One mistake I'm not making is hyping up a player before he actually puts on the shirt.
He's very good though. He's got all the fundamentals, bro.
Bro, I hear that, you know. I hear all the hype and everything. I'm with it, but I'm not gonna be doing it myself. I'm gonna wait until he actually plays for Man United a good, 10, 15 games, and I can say, you know what, right, okay, he's played for my team in this league with the players that are currently in this team, and I can say, right, it's working. Because it's so easy, right, Rants, that people just look at even Rasmus, the way they hyped it up, yeah, he doesn't get service. But then we've got the #1 chance creator in the freaking league, bro. So in one hand, you're saying Bruno Fernandes is the best midfielder in the league, and then in another hand, you're saying Rasmus Højlund don't get service. Like, I'm baffled here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? In one hand, you're saying Aaron Wan-Bissaka over Dallo, or Dallo over Bissaka. We've got the best right back, got the best centre back in Varane. Do you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, you're saying Rasmus Højlund don't get service. So what is it? What actually is it? It don't add up, man. It really don't add up. The type of player Bruno Fernandes is, whenever he's in Portugal, bro, he's creating chances, he's scoring goals. But with Man United, it's a madness. First season, Bruno Fernandes was licking up the ball from anywhere and scoring goals. He would just shoot from anywhere and it would go in. But all of a sudden now it's all changed and yada yada yada. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I'm just gonna wait back and see what this player does. I'm gonna go back to my trauma from Sanchez, man. I can't lie. From Sanchez times, I'm gonna go back. I'm just gonna wait until I see a player. Even Di Maria, man, I'm gonna wait and see what these players do, because
the Sanchez thing was crazy, blood. That was a mad thing, but bruv, I'll be real, yeah. When it comes to transfers, there's no such thing as a sure thing anyway. Do you know what I mean? But man, just want to see the direction that we go in terms of who we're linked with, and also what kind of money that we get for players that we sell, because we've never been a club that sold well. Do you know what I'm saying? So if we start to sell well and do some good business, I've seen both Wan-Bissaka and Lindelof linked to Turkey. We can't possibly sell them both. Because if we sell them both, how are we replacing them? This is my only worry.
Varane's gone,
because Varane's gone as well. We're not going to let two centre-backs and a full-back leave when really we kind of... How do we replace Wan-Bissaka? We don't replace Wan-Bissaka with a player that's better than him for less than what we're going to sell him for. Because they're saying about 10 to 15 million we're going to get for him.
Can I say, Rants, I'll be deadly honest, and I know you're probably going to not like it or whatever, but bro, like, Bissaka can't be sold. Can't sell Bissaka this summer. Can't sell him.
I agree.
Can't sell him. Cannot. I'm really sorry. Unless a serious offer. I'm talking like 40 plus, 45-ish for Scott McTominay. Sorry, I can't do it. I can't do it. Luke Shaw is causing me sleepless nights. I'm just gonna put it out there,
bro. He's still not training with the England team. You know that.
Bro, he's still causing me sleepless nights. I don't know what is this, bro. How is he surviving? How? I would sell him for 10 million. I would sell Luke Shaw for 10 million. Honestly, that's the number one position that we need to identify, left back, because he's missing. He don't play.
The problem is his salary as well. He's on big wages and he don't play. And everyone's talking about like the likes of Varane's and Martial's and that. Bro, he doesn't play anywhere near enough football to legislate being on the wages he's on.
It's crazy, bro. It is crazy how Luke Shaw's just going under the radar, not being spoken about. It is ridiculous. If there is one player in Manchester United that needs to leave this summer that we need to transact, it is Luke Shaw. I promise you. I'm even willing to downgrade a left back and get someone else, but at least someone that plays. Someone that plays, bro.
But bro, that's why I'm pissed. We had Reguilon there fit, and the manager wasn't using him. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't know what Luke Shaw's got over some of these people, because he took a spot from a completely healthy footballer to go to the Euros, and he's not going to play a game. I don't know how he managed to go.
For England,
the brother's not even training, bro. He's not even training with the first team. He's still training by himself. And the thing is, it's like you don't bring him in the knockout stages without any sharpness because he hasn't played. It makes no sense, bro. Like, what was the point in bringing him?
Crazy. He's sick. Luke Shaw should be the first player that's crazy. They should even terminate his contract. They should just take the hit. It might even be cheaper just to terminate his contract, bro. I don't know how long he's left on his contract. Till when?
I think Oli gave him a new one, if I remember correctly. So I think he's still got a few years on that now.
Bro, terminate his contract, man. Come to a thingy and terminate his contract, man. They were looking to terminate Maguire's contract at one point, pay him out, innit? And then they didn't end up paying him out because it's just too much money. But bro,
Yeah.
if there is any financial hit I'm willing to take, yeah, is honestly get me one midfielder, one left back, one striker. I'm good. I'm actually another point as well, yeah. I'm good. I'm happy that we didn't get Olise. I'm putting it out there as well. Fantastic player, top player. No problem at all. But I'm sick and tired of buying, buying wingers like it's toilet roll, bro. Just going through them. They just go through wingers every summer. If Eric Ten Hag is staying in Manchester United, which he is, he has to make Anthony work better than what he's done in the last 2 seasons. Anthony's got to do better, bro. How can you tell me you bought a player for 100 M's, yeah, and we're just willing to look past that? No. You got your new contract. You got to stay in Manchester United, right? Make it work now. I'm not letting that. I'm even willing to sacrifice Olise so that this guy gets another season with Anthony, bro. That's his son. Make it work. I'm really putting the pressure on now on him. Why should Man United have to go and spend again 60 whatever million for Olise, 70 million, whatever it is for Olise, just so my man can have a better winger? No, man. Nah. Make it
No,
work.
I get what you're saying. He made his bed, innit? But I think Elise is one of them once in a lifetime opportunities where if he's available,
Well, he's
you
gone
just buy
anyway,
him
isn't it?
even if you don't need him. Yeah, he's gone by, and I'm glad that he's left the country. Do you know what I'm saying?
Very
If
good
he's
decision. As a player, very good. Whoever his representatives are, fantastic decision. Fantastic. He's gonna probably win, the trophy, or some sort of trophy next year.
Yeah. I think he'll go win the league, and you'll have a good Champions League run as well.
Do you know what I'm saying, bro? We're not even in Champions League, bro. We're not even in the Champions League. And someone said that's villainous. 100%, bro. I want Eric Ten Hag to make it right. Make it right, bro. It's not making it right by me giving you a replacement winger. Make it right with what you brought into the club, bro. Make it right. Make it right. It's your job. If there is any player that you're supposed to get more out of, it's Anthony, because that's yours. That's your son. If there is any player.
And bro, I honestly, like, I'm in the minority in the fan base that think, yo, there's more that we can get out of Anthony. As much as Anthony's end product needs a lot of work, yeah, bro, like, he's not as bad as we're seeing every week. He's not as bad as we're seeing every week, bro.
You know, one thing I like, he protects the ball well. He really looks after the ball. Unlike Garnacho. He really looks after the ball.
Honestly, we've got worse players than Anthony. The problem is with Anthony, yeah, is that he costs a lot of money. That's the main problem with Anthony. Do you know what I mean? Because Anthony's a better footballer than Rasmus Højlund, bro. But he's not being given the same patience as Rasmus. Some people say, it's because Rasmus is young.
Nah, I don't agree with that.
But it's also because of the price tag, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones where, like, Anthony is a better footballer. So because of that, yeah, I will always have more patience for guys that actually have the fundamentals in it. Anthony's end product is the biggest problem because his off the ball work rate is fine. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he protects the ball well, like you said.
Yeah.
It's just the final ball and the final cross, the final shot is not up to standard. It's not. Do you know what I'm saying? But he's got a base level here that I think we can get more out of. When I look at Rasmus, I don't see him improving enough here for him to ever be a player that we need, bro.
Yeah, but he slows the attack down too much, man. He slows the attack down crazy, man. In transition, when you're supposed to attack the final third, when you're supposed to go in as a winger, when you see space, you trust yourself to beat your fullback. Do you know what I'm saying? That's natural. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to attack
but that's kind of not. It depends on the coach, because that's not modern football now. Like, a lot of modern wingers do not take their fullback down the outside. They absolutely don't. Do you know what I mean?
But that's where you have the most success.
Yeah, but not really. That's where you lose the ball the most. Like, I mean, even if you look at someone like Bukayo Saka, yeah, 9 times out of 10, his first touch is infield on his left foot. It's not down the outside. He goes down the outside, yeah, maybe, yeah, like 1 out of 10 times, bro. Like he doesn't just try and run down the outside because
Yeah,
it's
but
a high risk
Bukayo
move, bro.
is on another level in itself. Look
No,
at
but
Ilanda, for
you're
example.
missing the point. I'm not talking about levels. I'm saying that most wingers in the league they're not going down the outside most of the
Because that's
time.
not
They're
modern
not.
football. Yeah, I hear that.
Well,
But
exactly.
man,
So the
he's
fact that
slowing the
Anthony
ball
doesn't
down
run
in the
down the
halfway line.
outside, I don't have a problem with that because
Mm.
most of these guys don't. Do you know what I'm saying? Most of them don't. It's only really someone like a Doku, or a Garnacho, or a Rashford, or like a Martinelli that want to go down the outside all the time. And
Elanga does it regularly.
the success rate is very, very low for that. They lose the ball most of the time when they do that. It's a very, very low success rate.
You have to be a top class player to be able to pull that off. But I think he's.
But there's
Don't
not
forget,
many. There's
Anthony's
not
very
many in
fast
the
as well.
game. There's not
He's
many
very
in the
fast
game.
as well. But he's okay. Hold on, Pelestri, right-footed right winger, goes down the outside, does really well.
But that's different because the ball's on the safe side. If you're right-footed, and you go down the outside, the
Yes,
ball's on the safe side. But when you
yes,
play with a left footer on the right-hand side, the safe side is inside.
I hear that, and I totally agree. That's why I would have even preferred if Anthony played on the left-hand side.
So would I.
Remember, Rashford played on the right-hand side, and he had throughout the season a couple times, and he did really well. Pelestri played on the right-hand side a couple times, did well. I remember. I think it was them times. It was Weghorst. Was it Weghorst in the team? Anthony played on the left-hand side one time, bro. He made the most perfect
And he played
cross
well.
with his left foot.
I
would
think that
prefer
he
a
can do a job.
left-footed left
I think he
winger,
can do.
right
I think he
right
can do a
winger.
job there. But the problem is most managers don't do that now. I quite like having a left footer on the left and a right footer on the right. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but you can do that if you've got a proper finisher in the box, though. Like Rasmus can't finish like that. Not first time. No, he's not great in the air. If I had an attacker that attacked the ball, then I could definitely go for wingers playing on their safe side. But you just don't have those kind of strikers no more. You just don't. If you got a Ruud van Nistelrooy, you want a left footer on the left to put the ball in the box and a right foot on the right to put the ball in the box, innit? But we don't have that. You zipping crosses into Rasmus, bro. Like, it's a waste. It's a waste. He wants to play in transition. He's a transition player. Like, he's closer to Ollie Watkins than a hold-up player. Do you know what I mean? Rasmus would thrive in a team that's playing in transition, and we don't play in transition very well.
I agree. I definitely agree with that he is a transitional player, and he's not like a fox in the box kind of player where he'll stay in the box and he'll make things happen. For example, like Ivan Toney will. Do you know what I'm saying? Ivan Toney will stay in the box and he'll know exactly where to position himself between the defenders. And people think the service is so good. Obviously, the service has to be good, but strikers like Ivan Toney make a bad cross look really good as well because he knows,
No,
how to beat the
absolutely.
ball. And
But
that's
there's not very many of those players in the modern game now, and this is why, like Xerxes that we've been linked to, he's not a conventional centre forward. He's almost like similar to Firmino. Firmino was a number 10, and he was molded into a false 9, innit? So he's still got the finesse and the touch and the awareness of a midfield player. So cool. He's not a stone cold killer when it comes to finishing, but he's very good at facilitating and bringing people into the game, innit? And I think if we get him, this is what we get. I believe that our team look at him as a younger and cheaper alternative to Ivan Toney because both of their strengths is linking play, innit? I think Tony's better physically in terms of backing into players and holding the ball up. But ultimately, both of these guys are pivots for our wide players to run off. So, and run beyond because they'll drop into space. So
what do you think of him? Like, do you think 23-year-old young player like him?
I think
How
he's
is he gonna fit
quality,
into the
bro.
team?
I
But
think he's quality.
don't you think that's gonna cause problems between Rasmus and Xerxes because one's 72 million, one's 40 million release clause? You know what I'm
It
saying?
potentially could cause
Divide the minutes.
it could potentially, but the way I kind of look at it is Rasmus is the old regime, and Xerxes would be the new regime. So it's one of them things where you can't really look at any player that's come in under the old regime, and assume that they're safe because they're not. Just like the manager's not safe because he's old regime. So because of that, you bring in Xerxes, yeah. Obviously, there's going to be influence. They're going to say, all right, cool, we've paid X amount of money for him. He has to play. And then it's up to Rasmus to decide whether he's happy with the situation or not. If he's not happy, then obviously he can leave. But I genuinely look at him. He looks like a player that's just happy to be at Man United, bro. When he leaves Man United, he'll never play at a club at that level ever again. So I think that he's just happy to be here, take pictures for Instagram, bruv. I think that he'll be cool coming off the bench for a couple seasons and then he'll end up going somewhere else in it. But he'll never be good enough to start for us week in, week out if we have the ambition to do anything of any note at the club. Because he's not good enough. We just have to keep it above.
Older striker, I can't lie. I would have preferred somewhere around the 27, 28 mark, a bit more experience, man. We're going down the young route again.
No,
He
I
might be a
understand
very
that.
good player. He might be a very, very good player, but then a striker that comes in who's a lot more experienced automatically demands, more minutes. And I'd rather have that than two young players fighting against each other and, causing a madness. I would prefer.
No, I understand. The one thing that I think makes the difference, though, is they're very, very different profiles. So this is why I think that the age doesn't really matter. I think that the Xerxes signing is future-proof in a sense that he's got a release clause of 34 million. We're signing him young. So we're making a profit on him when we sign him. Because if we decide to sell him in 3 years, we're getting more than 34 million for him.
Yeah.
You get it? So because of that, it's a signing that is future-proof. Do you know what I mean? There's resale value. Whereas Ivan Toney, the most Ivan Toney's ever going to cost is right now. Because he's 27 years of age now. So if we spend 55 million on Ivan Toney right now, if Man United do decide that maybe in 4 years' time we're going to sell him at 31, we're not getting 55 million for him. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you look at it for business, Tony's going to cost more wages. He's going to cost more money up front and there's less resale value. I believe that's how the club are looking at it. How I would look at it is I need a striker that's going to mash work right now. Go get me Ivan Toney. Don't care. That's how I would look at it. But I'm not looking at it from a business point of view. Like Xerxes is very low risk in the sense that we're never going to, like, if we do decide to sell him, we'll at very, very least make our money back. And he's on lesser.
Is he not
wages.
linked with anyone else? Was he not linked with
AC Milan? But
Milan,
but the talks are broken down because AC Milan don't want to pay the agent's fee.
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Love an agent fee.
Yeah, but you know what it is. Yeah, they're saying United have a good relationship with his agent, so they'll be able to try and do something.
Yeah, because Xerxes' agency also managed Forsen, so it's like they're known to the club. You know what I'm saying?
Bruv, he's been known to the club for ages. That Kia Jarapchin, bro. He's the guy that was involved in the Carlos Tevez deal. He also used to be Rio Ferdinand's agent, bro. He's been involved in the club for very many years, bro. Very many years. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones where I think Kia Jarapchin's like an intermediary.
I think the price tag is the only thing that I look forward to. Do you know what I'm saying? That is 34 million. That's very good price for a player that's so promising and so a profile like him we could do with, because it's just different to Rasmus Højlund and it gives in games. If for example Rasmus is playing 60-70 minutes and it's not working, you can bring in a different profile of player as well to help out. I want to see how it works with two of them on the pitch as well, different profile of players playing together. So I'm excited for it. I'm just gonna hold off and see when he comes in how he does, because he's still a very young player. 23 years old, very, 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 very young player. He's only just had one season in Bologna where he's played bare minutes. Before then, he was just being put on here and there. So it's big pressure, coming from Bologna. No disrespect to Bologna, of course, but coming from there to Man United and the expectation. Don't forget, he's coming into the club whilst fans are expecting Erik ten Hag to win the Europa League. So he's got big shoes to fill. All of the players have big shoes to fill. Mason Mount's got big shoes to fill.
Now you're right, man. It's a lot of pressure, man, and we don't know how he's gonna react to it. We don't know how he's gonna take the pressure. We don't know these things, and this is why I say, like, I'd rather Toney. As much as I like Xerxes' profile, he's my kind of footballer to watch. But it's like, is it is that the signing you make? Yeah. Obviously, there's no such thing as a sure thing in football. But in
Mm,
terms of a sure thing, Ivan Toney's the closest thing you're gonna get to a sure thing, yeah, in the Premier League right now. Because we know that he can do it in this country, we know he can do it in the Prem, and he's done it in
mm,
the championship, bro. Like, so it's one of them ones where he's answered all the questions. Whereas with Xerxes, I think there's more questions than answers in it. Whereas with Tony, there's
mm.
more answers than questions. So it's one of them things where I'll be
I am a
happy
bit
with either of them, but I would rather
yeah.
Tony still.
I am a bit surprised the fact that we're so advancing with this player rather than a defender because we're desperate for defenders. Do you know what I'm saying? So I am
No, but
surprised in that.
I think United know that Braithwaite wants to join us, yeah, and they're confident of getting him. So that's just what it is.
Yeah,
Like
but two left footers, I don't understand how that's gonna work.
he plays on both sides anyway, and also again, I think the Braithwaite thing is a club signing. I think that they would have wanted to sign him anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it had nothing to do with Varane. I think that they just had their eye on him anyway. It's one of
Mm,
them ones where they're looking at him as a player that they believe has got a high ceiling, and they want to get
mm.
him now before he costs more. That's just kind of what it is. So, and also, yeah, there's a lot more. Also, bro, there's a lot more defenders available than the striker market. The defenders market, there's loads of defenders that you could go out there do a job. Even Guehi right now, yeah, is having a good tournament for England. He's very good on the ball. Obviously, he lacks height and stuff like that. But for instance, if you could somehow get Guehi and Braithwaite, yeah,
Mm.
Braithwaite's got height, he's got the pace, and he's left-footed. And then Guehi doesn't have the height, but then he's very good on the ball. That partnership also works because you can't trust Leacher to be fit all season, bro.
Fair point.
You can't trust him. Like, as
I
much
think
as I want to trust him, like his injury record has been worse than Varane's, bro, in recent times, and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
people
yeah,
are
yeah.
people are overlooking it.
Yeah. We don't even know if he's gonna be the same player, by the way.
No, we
No
don't.
idea.
Do you know what I mean? And not just in terms of his level, but he might not be the same player in terms of durability as well.
Mm.
And this is the problem. So, like, especially now,
Definitely need
Elise is gone, yeah, and
yeah.
Guehi's in the last year of his contract as well. So, United have to be looking at him. They have to be looking at him, but maybe
You know what's
they're trying
crazy
to
as well?
get people out first.
You know what's crazy as well, yeah, and I hate to do that. We could have run whatever because he's gone, but we actually, if they really wanted Mason Mount, they could have got him for free this summer now and
Yeah,
saved all that bag of money, man. All that bag of money they could have saved. So it's a shame. It's an absolute shame the position that we're in. But let's see what happens over the transfer. What do you think of the Euros so far? By the way, just quickly touching on the Euros.
I think it's been a good tournament. I think it's been
Yeah,
a good tournament in a sense, bro. There's been a lot of goals, bruv.
yeah.
There's been a lot of goals. Like every game is throwing up at least 2 goals, apart from the shitty England games. Yeah, but there's
You
been
seen
loads of
Scotland
goals.
yesterday,
Nah, I didn't watch that. I was watching the other game.
bro? Scott McTominay. Oh my days, bro. Bro, this guy. At times, yeah, he was doing a madness on the pitch, but it's probably because tournament competition, country, yada yada. I get it, but bro, the way he was collecting the ball and turning, running with it in the final third, just slipping the ball into the striker, bro, it was crazy, man. I was like, "Who? This is Scott McNaldinho, mate." That was
No, but
crazy what he was
I didn't
doing.
watch it. But you know what it is? Scott McTominay, yeah, he's got the confidence and the freedom to do that for Scotland anyway. Pick up the ball and run with the ball in it. But all I saw is they lost, blood. That's all. That's all man saw in it. So it's just one of them ones. But Scott's not the
Who's
guy
been a
in it.
stand-up player for you?
Brother, I wouldn't say stand out player, man. Like when I've watched the tournament, like most teams have had players that have played really well in it. So it's one of them ones. Spain have been the standout team for sure. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't think there were many people's favorites for the tournament before. I think Lee Gunner mentioned Spain being a team that he liked for the tournament, and I looked at Spain on paper and I was like, yo, you know what the problem with Spain is? I think so many people are comparing Spain to what they were that they're not actually realizing that they're still a very good team in it.
Mm,
Because you're looking at Spain and you're like, there's no Busquets, there's no Xavi, there's no Iniesta, there's no this. Do you get it? But
mm,
if you look at the balance of this Spanish team right now, the balance is so good that like they're dangerous, but they're dangerous in a very different way. Like they've got pace on the wings with Yamal and Williams that they've never had. They've never had pace in wide
Ridiculous, mate.
areas like that, like
Yeah.
real pace in it. So because they've got the ability to control the game with Fabian and Rodri and Pedri, but then they've also got the pace in transition as well. I think it gives them a different kind of threat. Do you know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think they look very good. Germany started well, but Germany look a bit one-dimensional. After watching the game yesterday, Switzerland put a lot of pressure on them, and they struggled to really create. Like when you don't sit off Germany and let them dictate, with Tony Kroos, like they just seem to just be running out of ideas. Do you know what I mean? So I don't see them going much further. The French team's been like Kante's shown that he can still play at that level, but the French team in general have been mad underwhelming, bruv. Do you know what I
For
mean? But it's been a
me,
good tournament.
for me, a player that's been disappointing me a bit at the moment is Nuno Mendes. He's
What you rate him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like him. I like him, but he's disappointing me a little bit, man. And then um Francesco Conceição, what a player, man. Oh my days. This guy is ridiculous. This
Yeah, but it's
guy
hard for
is
him to get minutes, bro. Like
this guy's
that squad
sick.
is stacked. Before the tournament, everyone was talking about this Portugal squad, man. And for me, the balance looks well off.
Mm. Portugal for me is a team that I think is gonna go far. I don't know why. I have a feeling they're gonna start clicking. Ronnie's on a madness as it is. I think Bruno's been having some fucking really good moments as well. You got Vitinha in there, solid. Then you've got Francesco Conceição. Comes off the bench, does a madness. I think they're gonna be good. I think, and then don't forget Pepe as well. You know what I'm saying? Man, he's 40,
Pepe's look good,
40.
man.
Yeah, 40, 41 years old. He's older than Ronaldo, and he's still
Yeah.
looking sharp. It's crazy. It is actually crazy. So I think it's gonna be Portugal that are gonna go far as well. I want Portugal to win anyways because of Ronaldo, but
I think
that's
Portugal are
just my
going out
agenda.
soon. I think they're going out soon. I'll be honest. I haven't been impressed by Portugal at all, man. I think that they're very imbalanced. I think they've got a lot of attacking options on the bench. And yeah, bro, it's just one of them things where when I look at the players they have and the level of football that they're playing at, I don't think it's good enough. Like, do you know
It's
what I
the
mean?
manager Roberto Martinez. I don't trust him. I don't trust
No,
my man.
he's awful. He's awful, bro. Like, don't
I
get
don't
me
trust him
wrong,
at
he's
all.
awful, bro. Like, I think first game he started with a free at the back, and then he changed it in the second game. But when I look at the balance of their attack, like Leao hasn't played well. Bernardo on the right side for them doesn't look good on the right hand side. I know he got a goal the other game, but I think the Bernardo on the right wing experiment needs to be killed, bro. Like, I just don't think Bernardo should play on the wing. Like, it just doesn't make no sense to me. When you got players like Pedro Neto and stuff like that on the bench, yeah, or even a Joao Felix, bro, it's just like Bernardo on the right. I don't know, man. Like,
It's
people
too
can say,
much.
yeah, he does it for City and all that, but bro, like, nah, I think he's wasted there, man, in this team. I don't really know about this Portugal team. I feel like they've almost got too many players,
Yeah,
and the manager's trying to keep everyone happy, and
happy. Yeah, yeah.
he's
I sense that
unbalancing
as
the
well.
team as a
Yep,
result.
yep. I sense that as well. I definitely sense that as well. The other player, Jamal Musiala, bro. This guy, people keep saying Bellingham this, Bellingham that, Jude this, Jude, bro. Jamal Musiala is from another universe. This guy is not even human, bro. The way he manipulates spaces, I feel sorry for him. In all honesty, I feel sorry for him that Germany haven't been able to live up to his level or help support him in his level. Special isn't even the word. I'll be honest. You might think I'm gassing him up too much, but this guy is on another level, bro. He's
No,
good.
he's a
People keep
different
screaming
kind
about
of player.
Jude this, Jude that, yeah. Bro, this guy is gonna be the star of every show, every tournament, every competition. This guy's silly. He's silly, bro.
Nah,
He
he's
makes me
different.
get off my chair.
No, he's different, bro. Once he adds, and it will come as he gets older, some end product, yeah, he's gonna be unplayable because the way he drives into space and the way he carries the football is different. Do you know what I'm saying? It's different. I can't lie, but at the moment, it's like with this. I think tactically, this German team as well. Like I think it's imbalanced, bro.
Mm,
Like when you watch the German team, yeah, and I watched them struggle yesterday. You've got Florian Wirtz and Musiala, yeah, where in an ideal world you play one of them, not both of them, innit? And I think trying
mhm,
to fit them both into the team when they're very similar players means that you only get the best out of one of them,
mm,
and to a certain degree, you don't really get the best out of one of them because both of these guys, yeah, require a lot of touches on the ball, innit? I'm
mm,
seeing Florian Wirtz try and play one touch, two touch. That's not his game, innit? Like you kind of need to build your attack through players like Musiala and through Wirtz, and you can't play them both at the same time without them taking away from each other, man. And there's no real width in the German team. When I look at the team, yeah, they look a bit more balanced when they bring on Sané, and Sané's not even been that good. I'll be real. He hasn't even been that good in terms of level, but he adds balance to the team when he comes on. So I think that Nagelsmann got away with one yesterday because I genuinely believe that they deserved to lose the game yesterday. They weren't good
yeah.
enough. They weren't good enough. So I think Nagelsmann trying to fit everyone in and it almost invent a formation for them to play against the lesser nations. It's okay, but I think against the bigger nations, they'll have to go back to something a bit more balanced, or they'll end up getting cooked. But Musiala is one hell of a player, bro.
Silly player. As long as England don't win the Euros, I'm happy, man.
But they won't. There's no chance of England winning the Euros. And guys, have you noticed, yeah, that all of the leaks in the England camp, all the leaks, bro. Now we know that Trent's getting dropped for Conor Gallagher for the next game. Like, why do we know that? Do you know what I mean? Ain't it funny, yeah, that the leaks have dried up at Manchester United, yeah? And it's like all the and there's still leaks in the England camp. That do you know what I'm saying? It's just one of them ones. We have these English players, bruv, be leaking everything, bruv. Why do we know everything that's going on, yeah, in the England camp? Why do we know, blood? Like it's crazy. Like I don't know why we know. Like it's crazy to me because them man are all publishing in the Athletic and that saying how like man's gonna drop Trent and all these other things, and then we're getting stuff coming out from Declan Rice and other players defending players and stuff like that. Too much of the shits. There's too much media interaction between these England players and yeah, between the public and the England players, bro. I don't really like it, bro.
Mm. We'll see, man. I don't know. I don't know about any other team, but I want Portugal to win. You know my agenda, innit? I need Portugal to win. I don't know about Spain and all of this. I just need Ronaldo to win another Euros, man, and my life will be complete.
It's probably not gonna happen, but it'll be interesting to see what happens, bro. I'll be real. Like this tournament as a whole, I think a lot of the well, not even lesser footballing nations, but the smaller nations, yeah, the lesser names have entertained us, bro. We've seen loads of goals, loads of own goals as well. I think there's been more own goals than there has been any single player scored a goal. Like it's been a mad thing. It's been an
Saying that,
absolute mad.
Spain's playing today, innit? And Croatia, Italy. That's gonna be a serious game.
Yep, we're here for the Croatia Italy watch along, people. At 7:30. You get me? What you got coming up? Are you doing a watch along? You watching the game or?
Yeah, I'll be watching Spain and Albania. I'll be doing the Copa America as well. Brazil playing later on tonight, innit? At 2
Okay,
a.m. So I'll be doing that as well. Mandem Talk on Wednesday. And yeah, just every day. We're live every day, baby. We're live every day.
that's crazy.
That's all it is. That's all
Nah,
it is.
that's
Back on
wavy.
board
You
again.
lot make sure you subscribe anyway to Planet Faz. The
I even
link
got
is
myself, actually, funny
in the
enough, people
title.
saying I got CR7 boxes. I didn't get the boxes, but I got a top. I got a Portugal top.
You're
I'm
moving
serious.
crazy, bro. I'll be honest.
Why?
Man said you got yourself a what? A CR7 Portugal top.
Bro, what's wrong with that?
Now I hear it. I hear it, bruv. Do your thing, innit?
I'm sensing some problem here. You got a problem with my top, my
No, bro,
legendary?
there's no problem, bro. Do you know what I mean? CR7 left Man United a long time ago. Man, them still holding on to him. It's
He's
crazy. I
left
know he
Man
came.
United. He's not left me.
I hear it. I hear it, bro. I hear it, bro.
Bro, you got David Beckham in your back. Do you know what
Bro,
I'm saying?
enjoy that. Yeah, but I don't have his shirt though.
Do you not have any football shirts with player's name on the back?
I bought a Kobe Mino one, and that was it. Recently.
That's it.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna get a CR7 Portugal shirt. Like, it's not that deep to me.
I don't. Sometimes, yeah, you confuse me. I can't lie. So you don't have a Jamaica top with
I
a
do.
player's name?
No, I don't have a player's name on it.
Why you don't like it? You don't like the man that play for Jamaica or what?
Bruv, my uncle was captain of Jamaica for many, many years, but I don't have his name on my shirt. Like, I just got the shirt with no name on
Okay.
it. So it just is what it is, bro. Do you know what I mean? I don't tend to do that. Like, I got the Kobe Mino shirt to support a young player that's coming through the youth team. But other than that, I'll have my own name on the shirt, or I have no name.
Nah, my Portugal shirt got no name. I was only bluffing. It's got no name. It's blank.
We'll see, innit? We'll see, blood, until man see the Instagram photos of you with the CR7 Portugal top on, blood.
Nah. It's not got any name. It's not got any name. I can prove it. It's actually there. It's not got any name.
I hear that. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
but if I was to get a name, you know, it would probably be Ronaldo, innit? It would probably be Ronaldo. Or Musiala as well. I'm okay. You know, I'd get a buying top with Musiala, young players, 100%. But I don't understand why people think it is pause-worthy to have a man's name on the back. You lot need to grow up, bro. Like, just, I don't understand, bro. And so what if I want to buy CR7 boxes? I don't have it. But so what?
Now the boxes that's a why still. We don't do the boxes.
Too fixated on this pause thing, man.
Now the boxes things are why still.
Releasing back when David Beckham.
If David Beckham released boxer shorts, I would not buy them, bruv.
That's you, but you still buy Calvin. I had this argument with you before. You still buy Calvin. We don't know who Calvin is. We don't know who Ralph is. You still wear them, man, because they're designers. They design.
Yeah, and we don't know them, and this is cool. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if man idolize someone else wearing their pants, it's a bit different to just wearing something because it is.
What if
quality?
Let's say yeah, I do like we do like a test where you wear CR7 boxes and you're blindfolded, so you try them on and you have to rate them, and then all of a sudden you find out that CR7 boxes is comfiest boxes you ever wore.
Nah, but it's a why though, because like, bro, imagine I just decided, yeah, that instead of doing t-shirts, yeah, I'm just gonna start selling underpants. Yeah, I mean, and then my followers are wearing underpants with my name on it, bro. That's a weird thing, bro. I'll be real.
What if the clothing is actually good, bro? It doesn't matter, innit?
It doesn't matter. Like, man could have great underpants, but the man them are wearing my underpants, bro. They're going around to their girl's house and they got Rants on their waistband, bro. That's crazy. That's a why, bruv. I'll be real.
I mean,
that ain't.
You could switch it. You could put just R in it. You don't have to put Rants. You could switch it up.
I don't know, bro. I hear it though. You know what I mean? It's all about what's associated with the brand, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? It's what's associated with the brand, isn't it? So, and because his face and him as the person is associated with the brand, it's like you're thinking about, man, when you got his pants on. It's mad. That's
if
it's
comfy, I wear it. Minor. I'm okay with my sexuality. You know what I'm saying?
I'm all right with mine as well. I just don't want to wear Cristiano's underpants. So
no problem.
The game is the game, though. Do you know what I mean? You lot, we're gonna I think Saeed's live in it, so we're gonna read Saeed's show. You know what I mean? I'm back here at past. Do you know what I'm saying? For the watch along for the Italy game. Do you know what I mean? So we'll be there. Make sure you guys subscribe to Planet Faz. The link is in the title. Let them know where they can find you later, bro.
Just on Playback. I've put the link in the chat. Playback. I'm live there, so you can catch me there. And you can come up on and have a conversation with me on there as well. So yeah, make sure you come up on there if you get some time on that. But yeah,
That's it.
appreciate that still.
Come on. Do you know what I mean? So yo, big up people. Make sure you run up them likes inside here. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Make sure you hit up a Rants raid in Saeed's stream, and I'll see you guys back here at 7:30.